Thank you very much, Minister, and thank you for setting time aside to deal with this matter. It's in relation to, I suppose, in a time when we've pressing problems on the whole climate change issue and about giving leadership within our own local communities, and that's in relation to the use of primary schools in particular, and about getting a message across that we all can contribute to helping to make sure that the damage that's currently that's arising in relation to the burning of fossil fuels and all of the other issues that are arising in relation to climate change, that we can reverse that. And one of those places we can do it is in our primary schools, and that's by retrofitting them and also by using those premises for the production of solar panels, for the production of electricity, not only for the school but also for the wider community. And I think it's something that we need to start working very hard on, because, for instance, in relation to some new schools, primary schools and indeed secondary schools as well, where planning permission has been granted, this is not incorporated in the plans, and certainly the ones that I've seen over the last 2 years, and I think it's now something that we should be doing. And I think it also shows in each local community that there's leadership being given at a national level, but down very much within the local community. So it's in that context that I'm raising this issue.
Thank you, Senator. Minister, to respond.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. And can I say on behalf of Minister McHugh, I would like to thank the Senator for raising this very important issue. And it does give me an opportunity to outline to the House, the Department's plans for upgrading older schools. As the Senator may be aware, the Department will be investing €8.4 billion in school buildings over the lifetime of Project Ireland 2040. And this investment will see an increase of 70% in school buildings budget, will be targeted at delivering on the twin objectives of catering for the continued increase in demographics and a greater focus on refurbishment and upgrade of existing school stock. The Government remains committed to delivering on existing projects to the school building programme as soon as possible. Project Ireland provides for the investments the necessary investment to implement the commitments in the Action Plan for Education to reform and modernise the school curriculum by committing to a PE hall build and modernisation programme starting in the second half of Project Ireland 2040 period. That ensures that all students in post-primary schools have access to state-of-the-art facilities to support PE provision. Particularly also in the context of the rollout of PE as a leaving certificate subject, the next phase of the summer work scheme, which is currently open for applications, will facilitate a school laboratory modernisation programme. The Department of Education and Skills is at the forefront of design with respect to sustainable energy in school buildings since the development of its energy programme in 1977. Most recently, since 2017, it has partnered with the Department of Communication, Climate Action and Environment and Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland in an energy-efficient retrofit pilot scheme for schools. The programme is focusing on medium to deep retrofit measures, including fabric, electrical and mechanical upgrades to improve the energy efficiency of existing schools. The longer-term outcome of the pilot will be to create an accurate and scalable model for energy efficiency retrofits for schools right across Ireland. In the National Development Plan, €2.5 billion is identified for the refurbishment and construction of schools. And part of this is an intention to undertake a deep energy retrofit of schools built prior to 2008. Therefore, this pilot scheme is now paving the way for and informing a much larger national schools energy retrofit programme. Based on the range of, if you like, topical retrofit options which will have been tried and tested during the pilot. 16 schools have received energy retrofits under the programme to date, involving a total expenditure of around, I think it's around 7 million for 2019, and proposed works for 17 schools are currently being progress through tender and contract award stage. My department's technical guidance documents, that's the TGDs, set the benchmark for sustainable design in school buildings with a clear focus on energy efficiency. Schools that are designed and built in accordance with the TGDs must achieve what's known as an A3 building energy rating. And results show that new schools currently being built to the 2017 building regulations have an A3 building energy rating and are also up to 20%, and that has been assessed. They're up to 20% more efficient than required actually by the present regulations. All new technologies and approaches are tested to ensure compatibility with school design, operational requirements. Successful and repeated results are then incorporated into the new school designs and refurbishments. And can I just say that in the interest of sustainability, it is critical that renewable applications are properly suited to the school's needs and not just applied for the sake of having a renewable tag on the school. And I think that's very important. It is also critical that we minimise the demand for energy before we invest in renewable energy applications, and I think that's reasonable. This has been assessed in previous years with the wall and attic insulation programme and the water conservation programme. The Department of Education and Skills has been using test schools to evaluate the suitability, if you like, for renewable energy options for schools for the past 17 years, and over 40% of the research programme feature renewable aspects. All new schools built in accordance with the current building regulations have a minimum of 10% of their energy supplied by what they call photovoltaic panels, and are future-proof to take advantage of developing technologies as they become available. Major refurbishment projects, while not a planning, if you like, requirement, enable the provision of PV installations to meet school-based load requirements, and this is the maximum electrical load for the schools used outside of school hours to optimise the performance of the system. 2020 summer works schemes that involve an electrical upgrade will have a PV provided to meet the school's base load requirements to again optimise the performance system. And finally, the potential for renewables in schools is under continued review by the Department of Energy research programmes through continued research and by monitoring improvements in technology and the marketplace.
Thank you, Minister. Brief response.
Thank you very much, Minister, for a comprehensive reply. I'm just wondering, though, Minister, you're talking about over the last 17 years of the programme on this matter, but I'm just wondering whether or not we now should take a more aggressive approach towards any school renewal in relation to making sure that we are using all available resources to make sure that there's energy saving and that there's getting value for money in the sense of making sure that we're not using oil and electricity unnecessarily for providing heating. And I'm just wondering whether we've adopted an aggressive enough approach. I think it's something that we need to be, and especially, as I said to you, in local communities, you're giving leadership by showing that this can be done with a school premises. People are then learning that they can do it in their own houses, and I think we need to get that message out there. So I think we need to work far harder on the issue.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Senator. I think with the TGDs as a benchmark and with the energy efficiency refit, if you like, pilot scheme already well underway, and it's well underway, I believe, the Department of Education and Skills has already, I think, demonstrated its commitment to achieving greater energy efficiency. And if you like, the pilot scheme, if you like, has already cleared a path for the wider NDP funded retrofit programme to follow, and I think that in itself has sent out a message to other schools and a message to the greater public that there is a determination on the department to do what we set out to do in the 2040 programme. And if you like schools currently being built, as I said, to the 2017 building regulations, have already an A3 regulatory energy rating. And as I said earlier on, it's good to see that they are up 20% more efficient than required. And I think that's a message, and a clear message that's been sent out and sent to the government and sent to future governments that it does work. And I think that actually just reading about the pilot scheme, it is a very, very effective scheme and is being noticed by other schools and the general public.
Thank you,